Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning. We're now on the record. It is 11 a.m. on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. This is the technical conference in proceeding number 24A-0547E in the matter of Public Service Company's application for approval of its 2025-2029 distribution system plan and the grid modernization adjustment clause. My name is Eric Blank and I'm the chair. If my colleagues can introduce themselves for the record, that'd be great. Commissioner Gilman.
Good morning, Commissioner Megan Gilman.
Good morning, Commissioner Tom Plant.
Thanks. Pursuant to two interim decisions, we required that the company update the budget and GMAC revenue requirement, as well as redrafted tariff sheets and an analysis of bill impacts associated with the revised 2026 GMAC rates, ought to be consistent with the Commission's oral deliberations thus far in this proceeding. Today's technical conference was scheduled to assist the Commission in establishing the GMAC rates to be implemented from this proceeding, and is an opportunity for the company to present its calculations. As a process note at today's conference, the company will present its calculations and discuss its summaries with commissioners and advisors asking questions. Other parties and their counsel are not expected to ask questions, but may of course listen in. After discussions and clarifications from the company today, the Commission may resume deliberations at a future weekly meeting. Since this is a technical conference for presentation and clarifications from the company, we will not need entries of appearance. But for clarity of the record, I'd like to ask the company who will be presenting today. Mr. Wittershine, are you counsel?
No, Chairman. I'm here for UCA, and
Oh,
I am just
sorry.
observing today. Thank you.
Sorry, Ms. Simard Pacheco.
Good morning,
There,
commissioners.
there you are. Sorry.
Got the right company now. Why don't I turn it over to my colleague, Jason Piquet, and I think he can address who will be the speakers today for you.
Mr. Piquet.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Tana. I'm Jason Piquet. I'm the Director of Regulatory Administration for Xcel Energy here in Colorado. And we have a few of my colleagues here with us today. Art Freitas, who's our Director of Revenue Requirements. Also, Jeff Knighton, who's our Director of Pricing. And we think the three of us can walk through most of the changes in the tariff, or answer any other questions you all have, be that on the tariff, the revenue requirement calculation, or the ultimate translation of that into the rate estimates and bill impact estimates.
Perfect. I just asked before we do that, advisors and commission counsel, could you identify yourselves?
This is Mike Mendelson, Commissioner Advisor.
This is Ian Fetters, also Commission Advisor.
This is Assistant Attorney General Wyatt Foreman on behalf of the Commission.
Thank you. So, Mr. Mendelson, I don't know if you want to get us started, or you want me to turn it over to Mr. Piquet.
However the company would like to proceed, if they have an introduction, that would be fine.
Back to you, Mr. Piquet. If you have a brief introduction, that might be helpful. Please feel free to go ahead. If not, we can jump into questions.
No formal introduction from us other than what I've just noted. Happy to answer any questions if you all have them. Otherwise, happy to also walk through each of the elements to provide an overview if that's helpful.
Mr. Mendelson, I turn it over to you. Anywhere you'd like to go.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Piquet, if we could turn to attachment 4, the updated GMAC tariff. And first I wanted to ask, is it your intention that this document is final based on the Commission's oral deliberations that have taken place thus far for the proceeding? Or would a new version be submitted after the written order is issued or the Commission rules on RRR applications?
And attachment 4, just for clarity, is the updated tariff that we've submitted?
That's correct.
Mr. Mendelson?
That's right.
Yeah, it's our understanding that this is final as regarding our understanding of the Commission's deliberations to date. However, if there's anything in here that the Commission wishes to discuss further, or think we captured anything incorrectly, we'd love to discuss that.
All righty. So if we could just turn to page 3 of that document, attachment 4. First, I just wanted to review what the type 1 and type 2 distribution activities are. First, type 1, it says distribution activities that the Commission has determined to strategically benefit or advance applicable targets, standards, plans, and regulations described in the relevant statute. Do you see that?
Mr. Mendelson, you want to just pull it up on a shared screen, or you want me to? Or I think it might be helpful, but if it's brief or you don't think it's necessary, no need.
I don't think it's necessary, but
right. Yeah, keep going then.
Okay. All right, thank you. And then just a little bit below, Mr. Piquet, it says type 2 distribution activities include all other distribution activities that the commission has determined do not qualify as type 1 distribution activities. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay. So is it correct to read that all distribution activities fall into type 1 or type 2 as it's explained here and therefore are GMAC eligible?
Yes, I think that's the intent of both these categories, given the broad language here, that they would be falling into one of the two designations.
All right. Are you aware that the commission decided in deliberations that non-capacity investments eligible for GMAC will be capped at $100 and $200 million in 2027 and 2028, respectively?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that should be incorporated here in the tariff in any way?
We could reflect the cap. I think the intent of the tariff was more to stay a little higher level than that, given that future GMACs or DSPs wouldn't necessarily be bound by the specifics as those specifics by definition change. However, if the commission wanted to see that specific from this DSP outlined, I don't think we'd oppose that.
All righty. I mean, do you think it might be appropriate for type 2 distribution activities to refer to as specifically approved in the commission's DSP decision?
I think that's implicitly implied here, both across type 1 and type 2, that it's not just up to the company's determination, but also the commission of what's a distribution activity and what's falling into which bucket or not. So I think that part is clear.
Okay. I would say it's less clear from our perspective. I guess, would the company be amenable to modifying the tariff a bit further so that in order to incorporate that concern?
Yes, for sake of clarity. Excuse me, that makes sense.
All right. Okay, thanks very much. Those are all the questions I have, Chair Blank, on that. I know Mr. Fetters has some additional questions on the specifics of the calculations.
Mr. Fetters.
Sure. Yeah, thank y'all for providing the information in the December 1st filing. It has been very helpful just to further analyze the outcome. I just had a few questions, and I don't think we have to go there right now, but they're all on the attachment 1, the revenue requirement spreadsheet. And they're all comparing against the original spreadsheet that was filed on November 10th. I think we anticipated things to change from that spreadsheet based on those last couple deliberations, and most of the changes with the VPP administrative costs and the O&M costs made sense, but there were a few items I had questions on. And again, we can wait until you get there in the presentation. But just as a preview, I guess the three items that changed in particular, I wanted to take a look at are the Type 1 plant service balance, which moved about $4 million from the spreadsheet a few weeks ago. The IEDA inventory balance, which moved about 900,000 from a few weeks ago. And then the Type 1 income taxes, which moved by about $3.3 million from a few weeks ago. So when we get there, we can look at those in specifics, but those are the items I would be interested in seeing more details on.
Yeah, thanks for flagging that. Happy to chat about that now if that works for the commissioners and you all. The plant imbalance changes, and I'll probably lean on my colleague Art Freitas here as well, so feel free to jump in. But the plant imbalance amounts will be different by definition, since this is the first time we've presented this revenue requirement based on the actual underlying projects in our latest forecast. Every other revenue requirement produced to date has been illustrative including back in our in the filed DSP, as well as the revenue requirements submitted back in November. That was all based on prior forecasts from the company, I believe from back in 2024. Based on real projects, of course, but on a vintage of forecasts that was older. So this is our latest understanding of what 2026 projects, meaning the outlined goals, or rather the projects captured by the GMAC from the commission's deliberations. And so this is the latest and greatest view of the world. It didn't change a whole lot, but you're right, there's a few $1 million difference there. On the second category, you mentioned EADA. I might have to ask Art to explain any differences there. I'm not sure if those balances changed or what's going on.
That's also more of a data vintage issue as well. The EADA that was presented back in the DSP and then in the prior November look, that was from 2024 vintage data, and this EADA has been updated to our most recent view. So it's accounting for some more relevant or more recent information.
Okay, so the spreadsheet provided a few weeks ago for the EADA was consistent with it was basically the same number that had been filed in that initial filing, and the capacity, I guess, there, even though obviously that was a different number from the type 1 that was presented in the initial filing because it wasn't all the same categories, that still would have been based on that same data at the time. And now the tariff and filing here is based on the newer data.
That's correct. Our understanding was that the filing we made a couple weeks ago was to use the information from the record of the DSP. And so that's why the vintage is from 2024, even though we're in November of 25, or we're in November of 25.
I see. I think that makes sense to me on both of those. And I imagine the income tax question probably ultimately lands at something similar, but it seemed like a bigger shift there, given that I think the earnings, the type 1 earnings themselves only moved by about, I think, $100,000, but the income tax is moved by a few million. So I wasn't sure if there was something else sort of more fundamental going on there.
I suspect it's probably the change in the book to tax timing differences that factor into the income tax calculation. I could go back and look, but that would be the first place I would go to look, is to see what those timing differences, how those changed.
Okay.
Generally what drives income tax changes the most when the return is roughly the same. It's usually your book to tax timing differences and the deferred tax expense that are driving it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think appreciate it. I think that's all I had for now. Mr. Mendelson, Chair Blank.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Gilman, anything you'd like to ask the company?
No, I don't think I have any questions at this point. I guess maybe Mr. Mendelson or Ms. Dundas, if we do want some changes to that tariff language with regards to Mr. Mendelson's discussion with Mr. Piquet, is that something we deal with at the CWM or?
Right. Yeah, I think we should, it's something we could bring to you for suggested language improvement for that. And then we could put out an order shortly after the CWM.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I just wanted to understand the next step on that, but yeah, I think given the ability for some discussion or process on that, I don't have any other questions right now.
Commissioner Plant?
No further questions. Thank you.
Nor do I. Mr. Mendelson, anything else?
No, that's all. I think we'll approach the commission next CWM. So if there's any additional steps.
All right. Thanks to the company for showing up today. Appreciate the parties. Thanks to the advisors and council. And with that, the technical conference is adjourned. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Thank you.